Creek Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Now, recently today, they announced, which is March the 9th, a 14-year-old girl was shot in Spring Ranch. And you all know previously of innocent children and bystanders that had been shot through a careless act of violence in the Houston community. So what Verbal Peak Radio, Jeopardy J Entertainment and I, same family, you know what I'm saying? What we propose to do is get people involved. And what we're going to do, our first step, is we're going to have a unity concert, gospel concert, March 19th at Mr. Tim Thompson's church, who will be joining us in a few moments, and we're going to go deeper into that. But not only are we doing that as far as on the spiritual realm, we also will propose to the city of Houston sound sensors that will detect gunshots to where it can have police responding time so they can get to the location of where the shots took place. This is very important because the children are our futures. What you think about that, Jill?
I think that's a fantastic idea. I think it's something that we needed to have years and years ago. Gun violence is something that plagues our community, especially people of color, especially the low-income areas. The low-income areas are always the areas that get overlooked and always the areas that get everything last. So what our goal is to bring it to them ourselves. Right. And if we can get help from anybody, we greatly appreciate it by coming out to the show, coming out to the revival concert, we call it. You won't be also just giving you some wholesome entertainment for the family, give you something other than what you're normally used to, but it also go into a good cause to help us with our mission is to help the children, is to help the youth. And to go into the show a little bit, it is going to be star-studded. We do have some legends, we do have some music icons, and it's going to be something that is going to be music history in Houston.
Well said. And on that note, I want to bring up Alan Wayne Johnson. Fam. Now this was his idea. He put this proposal together.
Thank you for having me here too, man.
No problem at all. He put this proposal together out of his concern for what he was seeing on the news and in life of innocent children, God's children, being gunned down in the streets. And as adults, how can we look at ourselves in the mirror? We're not trying to do anything or implement anything that can help take care of our future, right? So, man, we appreciate that. But what is your overall? What's your overall? What would you like to take place by proposing this proposal as far as the gun violence with what's going on with the youth?
Okay, with this here, you see I named it how Houston on Watch, Censor, and this here, if properly done right, we can execute and stop a lot of senseless violence that's going on continuous right now today. Because my overall goal, I have grandkids, and, I have kids too, and I love mine just like you love yours. And I hate it when every time I turn on the TV, it just senseless violence. And it's like people are just happy to have guns and just take another person's life. And if we can help catch these people that's thinking like this, because a lot of them getting away. And we need something that's going to help the city eliminate this problem. And I feel like the House Censor is going to do it with its function on what it does.
So we're going to propose this. We're going to push this because it's showing that the community cares. Because a lot of times you hear people saying, well, why should we do something about it, meaning other communities, if you all not trying to propose or do anything about it. So, you got to put your money where your mouth is, per se. On that note, the guest of the hour, Mr. Tim Thompson, we'd like to welcome him on right here at Verbal Creek Radio.
Let you all in the building, you know.
All right.
Because
The gang's all here.
we here.
Now, give them the address of the Houston Community Church.
Yes, our church is Houston's Community Temple, Church of God in Christ, 8711 Talton, 8711 Talton, Talton. It's in the northeast section of the city, off Mesa Drive, between Lay Road and Tidwell. Very easy to access, very easy to get to.
Great. Now, give us a little background history about yourself. This is a product of Cashmere, high school reunion band.
Yeah.
As you know, Jamie Foxx did the Thunder Soul on you guys.
Right.
And he's also a pastor, and he also opened up his church to the idea to help the community. So we want everybody involved, all the politicians, community leaders, activists, ministers, preachers, everybody come out, and you're gonna be entertained, but it's more than just being entertained. We are putting it out in the universe to save lives. But Cashmere, high school reunion band.
Yeah, well, let me just go back. I started in music as a 3-year-old, singing at my pastor's knee, the late Dr. A.B. Boylan, at Sunlight Baptist Church. We were on East Tex Freeway, which we call 59 now, right there in 5th Ward between Quitman Street and Collinsworth. And his grandson, Jerry Davis, was our minister of music, and Mother Hamilton and Mother Rosalie Diamond, they were also musicians there. Jerry Davis Sr. is the father of the former city councilman, Jerry Davis Jr., who just recently ended his tenure as a councilman. And his son Marcus and Anthony, they own the Breakfast Club and the Reggae Hut.
Okay.
So all of these guys, they came up under me, but I sang for their grandfather. He was my pastor. I was a little boy. When I got to junior high, I was at Terrell Middle School. Well, junior high they called it then. They called it middle. I got transferred to Key Junior High, and I was in the band. I was playing saxophone and singing, and we developed a group called the Unforgettables. It's a doo-wop group, kind of like the Temptations, the Spinners, the OJs, but that was 5 of us. And we came behind a group that was ahead of us called the Royal Temps. Well, they graduated, so we became the heir apparent. Then I was singing and playing a band. I was going to play basketball, but they wouldn't let us play ball and be in band because I had to have 2 courses of band to be in the stage band, so I didn't have another elective. And as it was, we were the #1 band in the nation, voted #1 band in the nation in a contest in Mobile, Alabama. They scoured the whole country and found the best bands they could, and we emerged as the leaders. After we won that contest, they quit having it.
Right.
They quit it, man.
What,
it was in Mobile, Alabama.
Come on, but your instructor, Prof.
Conrad Oberon Johnson, Prof.
Come on.
He was the level of a college professor. As a matter of fact, a lot of the professional bands wanted him to play, but he married Miss Birdie, his wife, and he had a family, and he, rather than go on the road, married Miss Birdie, started a family, and he taught school. He started at Booker T. Washington. But then when they built Cashmere, opened up in 1957, ironically the year that I was born, he came over to Cashmere. He was the only band director they had until 1977, 78 when he retired. Prof. Johnson, phenomenal musician, knows everybody in the industry. Stevie Wonder, I was at his 90th birthday celebration, and Eloise Laws called Stevie on the phone, and Stevie sang Happy Birthday, the Martin Luther King version. And Quincy Jones, we used to have Astrodome Jazz Festival. We used to open up the jazz, a high school band opened up the jazz festival. The Cool, y'all remember Cool Cigarettes?
Come on, yeah.
Cool Jazz, Astrodome Jazz Festival. We used to open that up. Yeah, and man, we was with everybody. We traveled. Count Basie's big band did a concert for us to raise money when I was in 11th grade, 1974, in our high school auditorium. Thad Jones' Mel Lewis band came, sat with us 2 or 3 days. Lou Marini from Blood, Sweat, and Tears, he was the saxophonist Lou in the Blues Brothers movie.
Come on.
Lou Marini judged us a contest at Sam Houston State, and he came to visit us the next week. Lou stayed about 3 days, showing us, different concepts of jazz and all of that. Not only that, Grover Washington Jr.
Oh, come on.
said of us that we was the best band he'd ever heard, high school, college, or pro. He was so impacted by the work that Prof. Johnson did with us, he went and started a band called Pieces of a Dream. Pieces of a Dream is one of the #1 jazz bands now. Man, them brothers are cold-blooded.
Come on.
They can play, man, and they're in all of the festivals, and they're in high demand. Great guys, man. Grover Washington brought them together, inspired by what Prof did. And we were just 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, high school. And we played for governors and mayors and any and everything you can imagine. Balls and banquets, and we say we played for bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, and now we just joking.
Yeah,
We
right.
would.
You would.
And so then, we came back together. 2007, we came back together, and we put together the band. We started rehearsing. There's a guy named Ethan Alifat who was a discographer in college, and he was doing research, and he found us. He contacted Prof, and we put out a CD. It's still out now, Texas Thunder Soul.
Okay.
And then as a result of that, National Public Radio, that's why media is so important.
Right.
National Public Radio was doing a story on us, and then the director of the film heard, and he called Prof. And Mark called Prof, and they talked about it. He came and met Prof, decided to do a film. Prof had been saying for years that he was going to do a movie. As a matter of fact, I was one that was taking longhand dictation. He was telling me the story. And then here come Mark, and we did the film. We won like 21 film festival awards. We started out at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. We didn't get to go to Robert Redford. What he called that? Robert Redford got that. Whatever. We didn't get. You have to be invited, and we wasn't invited to that. But we won like 21 film festival awards, and in 2012 we were nominated for an NAACP Image Award. We didn't win, but guess who won in our category? Harry Belafonte.
Okay, right.
You know Michael Rappaport, that
Right.
star with Spike Lee
Yes,
and Do the Right Thing. And all
Right.
that. Michael Rappaport had one in our category. It was Michael Rappaport. He did one on the Tribe Called Quest. The guy from Sesame Street that did the Elmo,
Right.
his movie, Harry Belafonte's
What?
movie, Us, and another guy that did, I can't remember that guy's name, but he took Barnyard Animals, an animated cartoon, and he introduced different instruments to school-age children. And that's the category we was in.
Wow.
Man, they rolled out the red carpet. We went out there to the Ford Amphitheater in California. We played. Prince was supposed to come. He got delayed from his concert. But man, we had a ball. And we did. I mean, it was just great. They treated us great. Red carpet. Larry Fishburne was there. Yolanda Adams, my god sister, she was there.
Right.
And we walked the red carpet. Me and Yolanda was cutting up on the red carpet together. But I saw, that was it.
It was it. His hometown.
Yeah, man, that's my homegirl. Actually, her godfather is my godfather. We got the same godfather.
Come on, this is
Dr. Lemons.
Dr. Lemons. Now, this is Houston's history
Yeah.
and Houston's legend, see? So you see the spirit of Pastor Tim, so you know that he wouldn't mind opening up his doors so he can put this event on for the community.
Yeah.
You know, because whether you know it or not, as far as music coming out of Houston, we had a lot of greats.
Yeah, we got some
out
of the
this
best.
city.
And even people that are not from here. Back in the days, Ray Charles moved here for a long while, for years. Elvis Presley used to come and sneak into La Bastille. There's a club downtown where they would play jazz. Elvis Presley would come in there, man, sneak in there and learn and grapple, with some of the music he was hearing. And now only that, man, we got so many others that came out of this town. Ronnie Laws. Ronnie wanted to go to Cashmere, but we had the zoning.
Right,
And so
right.
we made Ronnie unofficial Cashmere stage band. I'll tell you a story about Ronnie. We had put together a smaller group after the movie called the Legacy Group. And Sam Pink had the Red Cat Jazz Festival right here in Houston. Then he moved to Pearland one year. Then we went to Galveston. And every year we played with Ronnie. We played for the pool party from 6 to 9:30, and then they go to the main concert. We play Ronnie Laws always there. And Ronnie liked the way we played. He said, man, I'm going to play it y'all. But he changed his own arrangement of his own song. And he would come out on the pool and play with us. Man, Ronnie Laws was a fantastic guy. Debbie Laws, Eloise Laws, Hubert Laws. I don't know if you know One, the CEO. She's here. That's his niece.
Okay.
One, she does a lot. I'm going to connect you with her.
I want to meet her.
Yeah, she's a wonderful girl. Businesswoman, partner. That's Ronnie Law's niece.
That's
That's Herbert's daughter. It's Hubert the flautist. He play flute, and then Herbert he don't play nothing.
Okay.
But that's One's daughter.
I would love to.
And let me, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No, sir.
but let me say this. It's a delight to have you at our church. I am not the senior pastor. My brother, Bishop Kurt L. Thompson, is the pastor. I'm an associate pastor. But because I'm the CEO of the Houston chapter of the Gospel Music Workshop of America, I'm also on that national board. We're the largest gospel music organization in the world. We got chapters all over the United States, 2 in the Bahamas, 2 in Canada, 1 in Tokyo, Japan, 1 in London, England, 1 in East Germany, 1 in Poland. So we're really an international music organization. There's a guy named Lanny Wolf that wrote a powerful song almost, I think Lanny wrote that song 82, For God So Loved the World, based on John 3:16. One of the strongest gospel songs. Lanny just called me this year. He's back in Houston, joined my chapter, and we got some more music coming from Lanny Wolf.
Come on, Houston.
Man, God is just good. So I want to thank Bishop Kurt. As soon as I said, he said, man, whatever you want to do. And I want to thank you for bringing it to us when you introduced the idea to me. We are a community church, and that's what the church has got to get to. The late E.V. Hill, Edward V. Hill, he said it in the 90s. He's gone on to heaven now. But he said the churches that's going to be relevant into this, coming into the 2000s, it was the 90s he said this. He prophesied. He said they're going to be the churches that's feeding the hungry and clothing the naked and visiting the prison and helping the widows and orphans. Right. And E.V. Hill was right. The Bible teaches us that.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to reach down and pull up.
Yes.
Put that knowledge and that spirit in their heart.
That's what Jesus did.
That's what he. It's time.
That's what he did.
Come on.
You know, and we don't like other reformations and other, let's say, religions. I don't like to use the word religion, but they're doing work, and we sit back and complain about what they're doing while we do nothing. A lot of our churches, I give God praise for people like Pastor Dixon over there, Northwest Community Baptist, Ralph West, and others. You know, and that's just to name a few guys, my contemporaries. I know they're doing the work, and a lot of other churches. So we want to give the churches a good name, but we got to stand strong and we got to go forward.
Right. And as it stated, whether my father's name is mentioned.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't matter. And I tell people this: if you're willing to do the good works to help people, you know, and what might separate us is our titles, because we might say Christian, Muslim, Hebrew, Jew, whatever, but it's the works.
Yeah.
It's the works.
Jesus taught this. If you have the faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, you can say to the mountain, be removed and cast into the sea.
That's right.
It's the faith. Now, at the end of the day, the absolute truth is going to be revealed. And everybody that's been seeking the truth, no matter what system, this is my belief. No matter what system you are part of now, when you see the absolute truth, if your heart is pure, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. You'll see God, and you'll recognize, and He will recognize you. So it's not just about works, but because James in the Bible, I preach the Bible, James said faith without works is dead. But he said, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by works. So if you got the faith, you're going to see some works.
Come on. There you go.
Wow.
Come on.
That's the book, baby. That's the book.
I mean, think about this, right? We in America, and this is the year 2022, right?
Yes.
You got wars going on, but there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. We understand this, right? But you got us as a people who, different tribes was coming out of Africa. Some was already here. You got Aztecs, you got black, brown, we family, and we seeing how in Houston, in Texas, how we can come and work together and build something for our youth and our community. You know, that spirit is all around us.
Yes.
And we're concerned, caring citizens who
Yes.
really want to see a curve in this violence, especially amongst our youth, because that's our future.
Right.
How we gonna have a future if the youth, you
Yeah.
know? But how do you know how it says when I was a child, I thought I was a child,
Right.
I put away now when I grown up, I put away
Put away
childish
childish,
things.
yeah.
How do you take someone that's in a systemic racist system, take that young man who may have dropped out or may not, or may been in the system, because they find ways to get us in the system.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All kind. But to understand at a certain time, because it's seasons,
Right.
that okay, now you at a certain position in life, you gotta put away childish things and build and have more of a business mindset towards your family and your community.
Yeah.
How can you make that word stick when they bombard it with, shows and
Yeah.
low vibrational music and before I say that, this is a writer right here. He writes scripts
Yeah.
to produce something for the community. But how do you make it stick to the youth so they can understand, man, that your life is valuable?
Well, here's what we do, and it's my belief. You remember when they said they took prayer out of school?
Right.
If you put prayer in the child, send the child to school, prayer's in the school.
Come on.
We can't depend on institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Like you used the word systemic. A lot of black people, I got cousins, they don't believe that this racism is systemic. It is. In the 20s, Nelson Rockefeller, they found out that they could make pharmaceutical medicine out of crude oil, petrochemical products. People started getting cancer. You know what they did? Instead of stopping the use of the crude oil to make pharmaceutical medicine, they're using natural herbs and plant-based like our grandparents did,
Used
and
to
we
do.
never couldn't afford to go to the doctor and they knew what to do.
That's right.
They started the American Cancer Society. It's systemic. The American Cancer Society was started way back then. It's still one of the largest medical organizations. Then you got hospitals like St. Jude and MD Anderson and Methodist trading on the stock market. My question is, you trying to stock market, what's your commodity? Human lives?
Human life.
What's your commodity? You're supposed to be curing.
Right.
But I see you doing more treatment. Now, of course, you got to have treatment, but why are we not treating for a cure?
Right.
And so that's what we got to do. We got to put like the prayer in the children. We got to reach them at a young age. I told you I started singing at 3 years old, my pastor's knee. Train up a child in the way, this one of the verse everybody know, but do we practice?
Right.
Train up a child in the way he should go. When he's old, he'll not depart from it. Why? Because that's his training. The reason that these children are so reckless now is because that's the training that they're getting. That's what they see on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're a community church. We could have gone to the suburb or to, the business side, get on the beltway and build a night. But we're in the hood because that's where the need is. It's needed elsewhere too.
Right.
But we're not trying to glamorize it. We down here grassroots. I grew up in that area of town. Not in that neighborhood, but just 2 neighborhoods away. You cross over there, City Gas, and then the next one is over there, Houston Garden, Trinity Garden, Casimir Garden, all that, Rosewood. That's where I grew up at.
Right.
So that's where we are. We didn't choose. God situated us there.
Right.
And we're a community church. Houston's. My brother named that Houston's Community. And as I said, Houston's.
Right. Here's the whole.
Not Houston.
Right.
Houston.
Houston's.
We belong to the city, and the city belongs to us.
Amen.
That's where I think, yeah.
Amen.
We got to start, and then the older guys, most of these older guys is doing this. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. Most of these older guys, teenagers and older, they know better.
Right.
but they don't see the value. It's hopeless.
Hopeless.
Hopelessness. They arrive where they are because they had no hope coming up.
Well, I heard some say that, look, I'm here, I'm a party, I'll make as much money as I can. If I die, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm just here for a short time.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it now, and I'm out of here.
Because they don't understand the real value of life. They're looking at material value.
We hate ourselves.
Right.
And when I say we, I say people of color, because
Right.
we hate ourselves so much that how could we love our brother?
Right.
And we don't even love ourselves.
Right.
Come on.
But it all comes down to education. There's no one, where's the grandparents at nowadays?
Right.
There's no one there to teach the children anymore. The children are raising themselves. The TV, the internet is raising our children.
Yeah.
So why is things the way they are? That's the reason why.
Yeah.
So it's really up to everybody individually to really do something as much as they can do. Any little bit helps. But one day you're here, the next day you're gone. What are you going to do today?
Yeah.
Today's the day, not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Maybe there might not be a tomorrow. What can you do right now?
Right now.
And if you're waiting for
Right
somebody else to do it for you, then nothing's ever going to get done.
Never.
Ever. So that's why we're out here all together right now. You have a living legend right here who we're grateful to even be a part of his church and his whole community, allowing us to go in and do this. Everybody, as much as I can tell y'all, please come out. Please support. Please show that we're not alone in this, that we do care, because who else is going to do it? And we have to do it for ourselves. Nobody else, no one's coming to our rescue.
Nobody.
Just us. So I really would like to see everybody out. It's really going to be a great event.
It's going to be good.
Shout out to Mr. Jaime Sinatra, who's going to be a part of the show.
Yeah.
Another living legend.
Yeah.
And also Neil, a great, hard-working guy, good, honest, moral values, wonderful person as a person. I can't wait till y'all to come out and see. But I mean, I can't stress enough how important this is.
Yeah.
This is something that is happening in our community. Nobody's coming to our community. We have to do it for ourselves.
Correct. We're going to have a good time too, man. It's gonna, because I don't waste my time. I'm doing music. I'm having fun. We're going to enjoy. We're going to give God some praise. I mean, it's going to be hype. It ain't going to be just hype, but we're gonna have fun. It's going to be a good time, man. And yeah, you know, I was looking at, he called me I always kind of grin. He called me a legend. As I was looking, I said, man, where all the old people at? Then I saw the mirror. I said, oh, I'm one of the old people.
Come on, right.
But I'm still at 65 in May. I'll be 65.
Come on,
I thank God for it. I thank God for health and strength. You know, my mind is relatively sharp. Not as sharp I used to be, but I still think and do, you know.
Well, y'all check him out on stage. Go to Verbal Peak Radio on YouTube. And you'll see Brother Tim doing his thing on stage. Just not. He don't move like no 65. Yeah. Definitely.
And y'all can come to our church. Y'all can check us out at Houston's Community Temple Church of God in Christ.com or Houston Community Temple Church of God in Christ Facebook. And, you know, I tell people all the time, music is my art, but the gospel is my heart.
Come on.
And so I thank my pastor again, Bishop Kirk Thompson, for the open door. And I'm telling y'all better try to come on, because we're going to have some children up in there. And we're going to have, man, look, Jaime Sinatra, this man is known.
Known.
He's known. And if y'all don't know him, you better find out about it.
That's right. Support.
And we're also going to have his CD available, Mr. Jaime Sinatra, with H-Town on there. So many legends are on there with his gospel. This is his gospel CD. Please come out and get it. He's going to autograph the CDs for you. He's going to be there. You can take pictures with them, with the CDs, and it's going to be a great thing. Also, there's going to be several other special guests coming to the show to perform. I'm not going to say their name. If you have to be there to show up, you have to be there to see it. But we will record it for those who miss it, and y'all going to be kicking yourselves in the rear end if y'all don't come out.
I might do something on this.
That's right. This is a public event, man. Donations is welcome. We appreciate it. And man, appreciate you, brother, after being on the show.
Yes, sir.
Man,
But
I appreciate
Jim,
everything you do.
And
This man supports everything I do. If he knows about it, he gonna bring the camera.
Yeah, hey, Verbal Creek Radio, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we appreciate everything, man.
My brother
Jeff doing, you know.
This
The
a
wheels
beautiful
wouldn't
young
turn
man.
without Jeff.
That's right.
Wheels would not turn without
This
Jeff.
man, let me say this about him. This man, he don't say Jesus every word, but it's in his heart.
Come on.
Family man. He's doing it. I see so much of me when I was younger than him. We every time seems like we hit dinner time. We be at the table. We be with the children. I be like, yeah, man.
That's Jeff, man.
He be
I
dinner,
appreciate
baby.
Jeff.
Every
Definitely.
time.
Hey,
With the babies.
and thank you all for supporting the Listen Verbal Creek Radio. We are.